everyone, this is Kalpana. Today in this video we are going to see some problems on multiple integrals with variable limits for double integrals. So let's start with the first problem. Integral 0 to 1, integral 0 to x, e power y by x dy dx. Okay. So 1, 0, constants 1, upper limit 1 and lower limit 0, which are constants. So x equals to 0 and x equals to 1 and x equals to 0. And here you are having function of x. f1 of x is equals to x. f2 of x equals to 0. 0. Upper limit x, lower limit 0. So this will be your y1 or y. This will be your y2. Okay. So let I equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1. Integral y equals to 0 to x. E power y by x dy into dx. This equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into integral y equals to 0 to x e power y by x dy into dx. So this is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1. Integral e power x is e power x, that is e power y by x by d by dy of y by x. Under limits, y equals to 0 to x into dx. So this is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into e power y by x by, so differentiate with respect to y, that is 1 by x into d by dy of y into, under limits, y equals to 0 to x into dx. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into e power y by x by 1 by x into dy. Derivative of y with respect to y is 1 into 1 under limits y equals to 0 to x dx. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into 1 by x can be written as 1 by x equals to x. So x into e power y by x under limits y equals to 0 to x dx. So this is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into, now apply the limits, upper limit and lower limit for y. Y equals to x and y equals to 0. So x into e power y, for y equals to x, that is x by x minus x into e power 0 by x. 0 by x, that is 0 into dx. Which is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into x into e power 1 minus x into e power 0 into dx. E power 0, since e power 0 is equals to 1. So this is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 x into e minus x into dx. Since integral x power n dx is equals to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. So apply the formula This is equals to x equals to 0 to 1 integral x into integral x equals 0 to 1 x dx minus integral x dx for x equals to 0 to 1. So this equals to into x squared by 2 under limits x equals to 0 to 1 minus x squared by 2 under limits x equals to 0 to 1. Which is equals to into, now apply the limits, x equals to 1, 1 square is 1, 1 by 2 minus 0 square is 0, 0 by 2 is 0 minus again x square, 1 square, 1 square by 2 is 1 by 2 minus 0. So this is equals to e into 1 by 2, e by 2 minus 0 is 0 minus 1 by 2. So this is equals to take 1 by 2 common. So you will get 1 by 2 into e minus 1. So this is the required result. So therefore, integral 0 to 1 into integral 0 to x e power y by x dy dx is equals to 1 by 2 into e minus 1. Okay. So next problem. Second problem. Integral 0 to 1 into integral 0 to x square e power y by x dy dx. Okay. So here you are having functions of x, that is we can say that the integral is for y, and here you are having constant, so this is for x. Solution: x square 0, so which is f1 or f2? f1 of x is equals to f2 of x is equals to, that is function of x, y1 y2. Okay, so here you will write y1 and here you will write y2, so change it. This is for y2, this is for y1, and next you are having 1 and 0. x2 equals to constant, x1 equals to constant. Let I equals to integral. Since you are having functions of x, so this is for variable limit y. Y equals to 0 to x square, x equals to 0 to 1 into e power y by x into dy dx. So this is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into integral y equals to 0 to x square e power y by x dy into dx, which is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1. We know that integral e power x is e power x. Integral e power x is e power x. So this is equals to e power y by x. Why? We are integrating with respect to dy. Since in the power you are having y by x, so differentiated with respect to y. dy of y by x. into dx. So this is under limit. Limits y equals to 0 to x square. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into e power y by x by differentiating with respect to y. So you can take 1 by x out. So dy of y, which is equals to 1. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into e power y by x by 1 by x into 1. And the limits y equals to 0 to x square into dx. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into 1 over x is equals to x. So you can write 1 by x is equals to x into e power y by x into dx. So under limits y equals to 0 to x square. So now apply the limits for y equals to 0 to x square. This is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into x into e power x square by x minus e power 0 by x into dx. So this equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into x into x square, x gets cancelled. So this will be e power x minus e power 0 by anything is 0. So e power 0, which is equals to 1. Since e power 0 is equals to 1, which is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 into x into e power x minus x into e power 0 is 1, so x into dx. So which is equals to integral x equals to 0 to 1 x into e power x dx minus integral x equals to 0 to 1 x dx. Okay, so now we'll solve this integration. Okay, using eyelet rule. Eyelet rule. Eyelet. Inverse, like sine inverse x, cos inverse x, and so on. Logs, log x, etc. Arithmetic x, x square plus 1, and so on. T for trigonometric, sin x, cos x, etc. And E for exponential, e power x and all. Okay. So using this rule, we have to evaluate this integration. So first, you're getting arithmetic. So first function will be arithmetic and then exponential. You have to evaluate integral x into e power x dx. So first you're having arithmetic and next you're having exponential. So here we are going to use integral by parts. So for that, f of x will be arithmetic function and g of x will be your exponential term. Okay. Since you are having arithmetic first, exponential, the next. So what is integral by parts formula? Since integral f of x g of x dx is equals to f of x into integral g of x dx minus integral f dash of x integral g of x dx all into dx. Okay, so this is a integral by parts formula for product of two functions. So now here you'll use f of x equals to x and g of x equals to e power x. Take f of x equals to x and g of x equals to e power x. So this equals to f of x is x into integral e power x dx minus integral of x dash, that is derivative of x into integral e power x dx into dx. Okay, x integral e power x minus integral of x dash integral e power x dx into dx. Simply we use the formula. So this equals to x into e power x, integral e power x is e power x minus integral x, the derivative of x with respect to x is 1 into integral e power x is e power x into dx. So this equals to x into e power x minus integral e power x dx is e power x. So therefore integral x into e power x is equals to x e power x minus e power x. So this equals to x e power x minus e power x under limits x equals to 0 to 1 minus x power n by, since integral x power n dx is equals to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. So this equals to x square by 2 under limits x equals to 0 to 1, which is equals to now apply the limits x for x equals to 0 and 1, upper limit 1 and lower limit 0. So 1 into e power 1 minus e power 1 minus, now apply the lower limit, 0 into e power x is 0 minus e power 0 minus 1 square is 1, 1 by 2 minus 0 by 2 is 0. So this is equals to e gets cancelled, e power 0 is 1, so minus of minus 1 minus 1 by 2. So this is equals to 1 minus 1 by 2. So this is 2 minus 1 by 2, which is equals to 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is your answer. So therefore, integral 0 to 1, integral 0 to x square, e power y by x, dy dx is equals to 1 by 2. Is the required result. That's it. Okay. Hope you all understood. If you have any doubts, just leave your comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.